What's up, y'all? Son of Asim, and this is the Tec-9. No, it's not. I think it's the predecessor to the Tec-9. It's actually called a AP9. This is also one of my buddy Dylan's guns. It shoots 9mm. I think it's a 18 or 20 round magazine. I'm not sure. 9mm Luger, 9x19, what have you. Most of the people online say these shoot like shit. I disagree. It shoots pretty well. I honestly kind of like the paddle trigger, and the biggest things with it is these egregiously humongous sights, the very heavy recoil spring in it, and just the polymer plastic lower. Other than that, it's what I would call overbuilt to an extent, because it feels really just overbuilt. It reminds me a lot of like Ruger products. Like, especially the upper is what I'm referring to. Because it just feels so much there. It just really feels like it can't just, like, explode. If you put a hot round through it, it doesn't feel like that. Now, I bet there's people out there with horror stories about these guns. I don't know if there is or not, but anyways, this is a semi-automatic pistol. Shoots 9x19mm. It is a direct blowback. They have no locking or nothing because it's a pistol caliber firearm. It doesn't need special stuff. It's low pressures. The biggest drawback to this gun is, say you pull the trigger on it. That right there, I'll address that in a second. That is a hell of a spring. I'm guessing that's about 16 to 18 pounds pulling that back. But yeah. I've shot it. I have never had a jam on it. You know, we've shot close to like 40 or 60 rounds out of this so far, and it hasn't jammed. The only thing that doesn't like to work very well is this little piece of plastic that's on the trigger itself. You have to take that off if you really want to make it functional, which I don't know why it's on there to begin with. There's no sharp edges on this trigger anyways. The trigger itself feels fine to shoot out of. I mean, it's simple. It's just a piece of, I don't know, 16 gauge thickness metal. I mean, it doesn't cut you nothing. It's nothing special. Works just fine. So I'm going to figure out how to take this apart. I didn't watch no videos or nothing. Use some of that elite gunsmithing knowledge or whatever. But I mean, it couldn't be too bad complex. I mean, you got probably just like a basic trigger group here. Your bolt here. Big recoil spring in the back. I just got some rust on the inside here that's got to be addressed. I mean, hope I don't jinx myself. How hard could it be? It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I got up pretty lazy today. Earlier I went and helped my buddy move in. Yeah, I've just been pretty lazy today. So we're gonna figure out how to take this apart. I mean, I'm just looking at, this is spinning freely. I'm guessing it's something like this Glenfield or any other type of gun. It's just stuck in there for now till you can get this out and you can slide this to the back and pull it out. I mean, that's pretty usual. Looks like the bolt's been welded here. Or is that a crack? Looks like it's either welded there or it's 2 pieces there, but we'll see when the time comes. Just got 2 accent wrenches right there. You want to take the sides off and really be gangsta-licious. This is how you get good accuracy with these guns. It's a press pin right here, so all I'm going to have to do is just take a flathead and push that inwards. And this gun at one point in time was spray painted with something. It got oversprayed, I guess, and it's just on here now. So I'm going to look into trying to get the spray paint off, but if Dylan doesn't want that, then I'm not going to do that. Alright, seems to push out that direction. Actually, no, maybe the pin itself is inside of it? Where, buddy boy? What's happening? Oh, come here. A few days ago, a buddy I went to high school with asked me if I could drill and tap a gun of his dad's, and I said, shh. I don't think I said sure. I was like, yeah, let's look into it. And then literally the day after, so I kind of forgot about it, I ain't gonna lie. Because I told him I was gonna text him, and then I had other shit to do that day. So I'm sorry for that. I just forgot to get around doing that. And then all this happened just a couple of days ago, and I messaged him. I was like, dude, I am not gonna be able to do that in that time period you want me to do. He's like, it's alright. I'm like, I'm sorry. Now, I'm assuming that these are obviously come separate to each other, so I mean, that looks like that can just push out. I've never taken one of these apart. I don't know how they're taken apart. I'm just using guesswork, best of my abilities, which honestly you shouldn't do, but I'm trying to just see if I'm smart enough to do it all by myself. It still doesn't want to come out. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to push that pin inwards. There she went. But that time around, I get a little I've got a pin this size. Good Lord Almighty. Pin out. Oh. Just like that, really? Cool. Ooh. Is that just plastic molding or is that actual lead? No, it's just plastic molding. Okay. That is an interesting trigger group there. It's pretty cool though to see this in real life. I've seen an Uzi before, and I've seen a Mac 10, I think it was. But, you know, actually having access to one of these and look at them taking them apart is pretty cool. It's bulky and overbuilt, in my opinion. It really feels like it'll work just fine, though I know that these are prone to jamming really, really badly. But in my opinion, I think it's a pretty decently made gun, decently for the 80s, because 80s guns aren't very well known for being very good. Let's take the easy stuff off first. Let's take these sides and stuff off. Let me go grab a hex real quick. Unscrew this up real quick. Oh. Okay, well, that was easy. Well, good luck trying to put that back onto the original spot. Yeah, about right there. But seriously, I'll probably have to put this in my vise and put these on separately to fix the sights. I mean, they don't have to be perfect. They are just pistol sights after all, but still. Damn. I can definitely feel that someone put grease in this. It's not oil. A little thick and tacky. Yeah, that's definitely not normal gun lube. No. Oh, well, that unscrews rather easily. I did not expect that to unscrew so easily. Is the rear side hold it in place? No. Okay. Oop. There that is. Hell, who was that? Okay, I'm back. It's just my mother and sister. And we just got this unscrewed. That is a piece of plastic, and those have these weird lug washers in them. Alright. That looks like that's going to be a pain to put back together, but it needs to be cleaned. Okay, the bolt can just up here, as you know. Like I said. honestly a bit of like a grease gun because of how it's just all tooled. Okay. This would be our firing pin holder. Put the firing pin in place, so forward. Looks rather simple to put back together. So far, so good. Yeah, that. I don't know how well y'all can tell that toad in there, but it's going to need a little TLC. Now, am I able to separate the barrel? How bad is the barrel? The barrel looks pretty good. I mean, it's been well used, but it's not like horrible. I don't know how long this barrel is. I'm guessing about 4.5, 4 3/4 inches. What I'm guessing. Oh. It's going to need some cleaning real bad. Actually, I think that barrel looks either press fitted or welded in place. Yeah. I'm just going to have to clean it from here. It smells like, almost smells like truck grease, like red paste thermal grease to me. What it almost smells like, but I don't think it's that. I believe that's what in the manual for the M3 grease gun is it's supposed to actually use grease, not normal gun oil. This is not going super fast, but, a lot of people like the Thompson better than the grease gun. I'm just like, you can make 4 grease guns for one Thompson. It's nowhere near as complicated, so much easier to manufacture. And it might have a slower cyclet rate, but at the same time, that slower cyclet rate is easier recoil, able to keep your sight on picture, and you can actually put a suppressor on an open bolt machine gun and have it actually work pretty well. No, the more and more guns I shoot, the more and more I understand that people don't like guns because of how cool or how fancy and new they are, because of how they look. The more and more people like them is because of how they feel and how they shoot. Like something I never quite understood. I always told people about certain guns that I think are objectively the best, but when I shoot those guns and compare them to other guns, I'm like, well, yeah, they're good in all these, but there's just that one thing that they can't capture that this one does, That's what I suggest if you ever want to just, get used to guns, is to get a whole array of them and pick out which one you like the best and which one feels the best, in my opinion. Well researched and articulated opinion. But yeah, this is just going to need some advanced cleaning. So, grab a cleaning rod, and that rod's missing. But my dumbass put it somewhere that's not supposed to be put at. That's the tube and 2 magazines for that gun. Well, it's not back here. Oh no, here it is. Oh no, wait, I can use this one actually. Yeah, it's not very well put together, but it'll work just fine. So obviously, we're just gonna brush the barrel out first. I need a better pistol. One just for pistols. 38, which is what 9mm is in. 38 will work just fine. That's why with gun calibers, a lot of people don't understand is why it's okay to run these. You wouldn't, if a normal person wouldn't really. That's shaking a lot, and that's just gonna shake. Okay, cool. A lot of people don't understand gun calibers. See, like some people know ARs are in 22, small caliber, but you can, with the right components and parts, like a 22 adapter kit, you can run 22 long rifle through an AR-15 upper and lower with, some magic gunsmith fuckery, It's more than possible. I mean, there's literally some on the market. Though it's a little expensive for like $200. You can get 20s for far cheaper, but it's doable if you really want a 22 long rifle AR-15 conversion. I'm thinking about when I do my shorts for this gun, I'm trying to think about what music I wanted to play. I was thinking about NWA. That's what I was really thinking about. Or Boys in the Hood. Straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucking man rescue. I'm not going to say the rest of us will get deep like I have a girlfriend here. She can say it just fine. Yeah, that'll work just fine. I have to coil up. Actually, I'm just keeping it here with all the rust stuff that I can fix anyways. I run a brush through barrels first. Just brush it out. You know, like copper or brass. Something that's not going to hurt the steel in there. I mean, then again, this is a gangster gun. This is not meant for accuracy at all. Most I can hit is probably to here to the front door of my house over there, and that's as far as you're getting. 40. You can should be able to. Yeah, you can run 40. With like your jag tips, they're usually undersized because you know it has to account in for the rag and stuff, the patches that go through it. So you can just put a little oversized one, like 40. Another thing, did you know 44 Magnum is not 0.44 of an inch? It's not. It's 0.41 of an inch. Why is it 44, you say? They did that because it sounded cool. Same thing for 357. It's not actually 0.357 of an inch. It's 38. It's 0.38 whatever. That's why you can run 38 special on a 357. And 38 special is just and 357 is a necked up 38 special. That's all it is. But they did that to make it sound really freaking cool. That's 357 was Winchester or Smith & Wesson's. I don't remember whose it was that came up with it, but either way, they came up with the 357, and then Remington was like, no, I got something cooler and bigger and better in every way. So 44 Magnum. Now, comparing rifles to 357 to 44 Mag, it's not even close. But 44 Mag every time wins. The hell? Oh, it's a perfect fit. Oh. Okay, then, yeah, I'm going to have to size that jack tip down. I've never really encountered a problem like that before. Usually I can just run it. Is it no boss? They're not changing it this time around. There's a 357 up there. Yeah. Explain gun calibers. Because you got the metric level, and then you got the American Standard level. That's why you hear 223 and 556. They're the same. You know, like the calibers themselves. And that's a little thin. It's a little thin, bud. It's a little thin. Those are all old, and the old ones that get thrown away. My desk is a mess. I got two guns up here I'm working on. I got this one, which is my uncle's. It needs a... I'm just going to put a whole new rear sight on it because the other one is just in such bad shape. And the older one go front. But if you look at the crown on that, that is absolutely deteriorated. I'm going to do my best with it. I might actually have to just grind it itself and then try to smooth it out. But the rust on it is pretty bad. Yes, where was I? I was doing this sheet. My big old cleaning pads. Which for gunsmithing. This isn't gunsmithing, this is just cleaning. Nothing I'm doing here right now is gunsmithing. This is literally just cleaning. True gunsmithing comes with like machining. Or, you know, fixing sights. Doing some crazy shit to make something work. Which I've done a few times, but the majority of it with gunsmithing is just ordering the correct parts, keeping rust at bay, making stocks look nice, and just cleaning. That's a lot of what gun spraying is. I'm not even shoot you. That is literally all it is. Now, some people like to take. Now, for like pistols or guns that aren't too concerned with accuracy, like this, I leave cleaner in there just to keep the rust at bay, if it ever does develop rust, which is a big safety precaution of mine. Any guns I'm not too worried about with accuracy, like pistols or range toys or shotguns. I just run a wet patch through it and leave it alone. If it's good and clean, which this one is pretty good and clean. Honestly, it didn't have that much. It's good and clean. I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna leave it alone. That's crazy. It's got hash marks right here lining up for this. Well, the nut needs to go. Anyways, this is my gun cleaner. Be very liberal with it, especially with gun cleaner. Just dump it in there. I will suggest if you ever do clean guns, often like me, get yourself a nice thing of dental picks. Not these humongous ones I have. These ones right here. Unless that shit is really on there, you will never have to use these. Or like, picking out really big stuff. They do come in use, but like they're just not practical. These tips are way too fucking huge. Like this one is about less than a quarter the size of the tip on this. Some actual good dental picks work very good for getting crud out. So the next time you go to your dentist, just make sure to grab it out of the bin after it gets done with you. I mean, insurance already paid for it. All you gotta do is just clean the metal off. I'm just saying. Now I'm cleaning around here where the barrel actually meets the receiver. This is not the receiver. This is the receiver. This is the license part right there. Clean it as I can. I'll take a plastic piece just to pick it out. That looks good enough for me. I'm just going to take some more. These smaller square patches this time around. Go ahead and go around and clean it. With interior parts, oh my god. Yeah, let me grab that and show that to y'all real quick. Yeah. She had no TLC in a little bit. What is it? When it comes to cleaning, me personally, I like to put more liquid than less. Really, I do. Honestly, really good advice, especially when you're cleaning. Just go ahead and put more on there than less. Because you can always go buy more lube. You can't always go ahead and go buy a brand new gun. Well, fix a jam out. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. Half the time I don't. But just enjoy doing this. Yeah. That is a little short. I expect it to be. Gun should be well machine. No, it is. It is in fact a little sharp. I make the greatest machining, squared the edges and everything. I made sure it was sharp, plus or minus 0.30 thousandths. I did it within 1/10,000. I'm goated, greatest machines of all time. Oh, they wanted a mirror 600, but I put mirror polish on it. Why? Because I'm good at it. Because I'm good. The greatest. Yeah, this thing. Nasty. Extremely nasty. The gangster gun, though. I don't know what the story of this gun was. Maybe it was just some dude that was just collecting stuff. And I was like, you know what? That looks pretty fucking baller. Some dude in like 1980 walking around. He just saw this at the gun store. He's like, I gotta have one of those. That is too cool not to have. Another thing, when you clean your guns, when you're done cleaning the receiver, always get yourself a little rag and clean it. Just wipe it down. Get as much of that oil off as possible. It's okay if it leaves small amounts of it. I mean, yet again, that's rust protection, dog. In my opinion, that is rust protection. But it will show up, like, especially oil will show up really badly on blued finishes. I mean, so just be very careful and use your discretion. Some people don't mind leaving the oil on there. It gives them a nice, like, hazy, almost case-hardened color on it because of the oil residue. Some people like to throw absolute shit fits about it. How did you do that? I want that gun completely clean. I'm just like, dude, rust protection. This is good for the gun. Yeah. Some people are very particular with their guns. I am quite particular with my guns, mostly in how they're cleaned and operated. I mean, to me, a gun should be well maintained and well used. A gun that is well maintained can be well used without fear of it breaking. That is what I do. I like muddy, scratched, unless it's like they're like safe queens, like my hunting guns or my just fucking around in the woods guns. I get them scratched up. They get dings, dents. They get well used. They get hot. They get cold. They get ran like shit. But when I get done with them, I always make sure to clean them and maintain whatever damage I did. Make sure to mitigate as much of it as possible. Any gun that I own, in my opinion, that cannot withstand that is not a gun that I want to own. Straight up with you. But again, even range toys, I mean, range toys I expect to have some failures or some sort of thing that makes them not viable. Kind of like this. This thing is a range toy. It is nothing more than a shit and giggling little gun, alright? I mean, it's too big and bulky to be a really good use of a pistol in any way. Oh, but yeah. Pretty dope little gun. I personally like it. I think it's fun as hell. Would I actually practically use this to defend my home? No. Would I use this as a way to have an excuse to wear a bandana and saggy pants to the range? Absolutely. This thing is baller. Alright. It's impractical. Oh yeah, for sure. Is it fun? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I honestly think I do get better accuracy holding it sideways. It's an extremely fun gun. This thing was pretty yucky. Pretty yucky. Just really body itself. I like how it's parkerized though, so you don't have to worry about finishes or nothing. Don't worry about it, just clean dirty. Here's the big thing. There is some dirt in here, and it's bothering the shit out of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a rod, wrap it around one of these, and leave the outside a little fungus. Just go around here, just clean all this crap up real quick. For the wind blowing, it's a pretty nice cool day. It's like almost 60 out. Past like week, it was in the fucking 20s and teens. Alright, then this upper. Just gonna go ahead and clean it off. This is a one-step COP. I can just pour it in there, clean it real good, clean it out, and just pour it back in there again. But I like to use my own gun oil for it. A lot of people like a different lot of oils, but I like gun oil that is the easiest to applicate. So I'm not sponsored by no means. I like this Pro Shot simply because it comes in the syringe bottle. I like precise application. Every once in a while I go, fuck it just needs to go everywhere. Just dump it everywhere. Comes cleaning your guns, that's just you take the time. People have different standards of when they clean their guns. Some people like to clean them a lot, some people clean them never. Shouldn't do. Excuse me, good lord. I'm not quite sure what that. Oh, it holds your ejector. But it needs to be cleaned, so. I don't see a reason why not to take it apart. I've already got it out by this point. But you're extracted. Script, I'm not careful. Alright, pass to the beach. Angus. This shit is so good. Penetrant. This is like my favorite. This coral. This coral is really good. PD Blaster, there's a bunch of it. And I let it sit for a long time. But with coral, I can just set it and let it do its thing for like 10 or 20 minutes, then come back to it, and then it's just ready to go. I like coral the best. In my opinion, it's the greatest. So I'm just trying to remember where all these springs go. I mean, honestly, I can tell which one of these big and small springs go to. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop those out real quick. It's a very interesting piece of plastic, I will say. One of them's obviously the recoil spring for the whole bolt, and the other one's the trigger spring. That way, when the sear drops, it pushes the firing pin forward, which is what I assume the smaller one's for. That is a very crudely cast part right there. It's not even barely machined at all. A little concerning. I bet you this piece may break sometimes. Simply by just looking at how it's manufactured. I can see the original like line here where this circle was formed at. That's been chipped right there. Oh my good lord. You know. Just how it is. You know, with like these like very finely done metal parts, all I do is I mostly just wipe them down. Almost get thick grease stuck on them. The bolt's got grease on it, but this not so much. I can just wipe it down real quick, and then it voila, it's done. As well as you do it. And I'm gonna clean this real quick too. This one has a lot of oil on it. Whenever I put the bolt back in, I'm gonna put a big old ring of oil right here at the front, so when it goes through, it just pushes through that oil and goes all on the inside here. Because I'm pretty sure it is close to fit in there. So you know. Want to make sure that's good. That one's very nasty. Let's go ahead and just do it. Oh yeah. Not as bad as I thought it was. don't know what you call these things right here. These circles with like 3 points on them. I see them a lot of time in like cheaper manufactured guns, you know. So like in this AP9 or this Glenfield 40, which is based off the Model 60. You can see one right here. Another one there and there. No, I think it's a cheap way to have the pin go there and not have to worry about the tolerance on the inside of the actual metal it's being put between. You can just click it in place and it'll hold it just fine. So you have a much bigger tolerance and quicker manufacturing with that. That's why I assume that they put those on there so much. That, and it's also good to have a good placeholder for that, which it is very good at. We got some cotton swabs. Another thing, 2 types of cotton swabs. A lot of people like just use normal heads, but I like to use the thick heads too. Thick heads are really good for a lot of shit, especially 22s. This is nice to have with a lot of stuff. This is nice for finer stuff like this right here. I'm just cleaning this gunk out because these are not important moving parts. This buffer right here sure shit isn't. So that's why it's also got so much oil on it now that I think about it. As you can see, it would be, yeah, this side is where the bolt, back of the bolt would slam into it right here. So I'm guessing it's had some spicy ass 9mm holes in it before it was hitting the bolt that bad. The buffer, I mean. So it doesn't slam against the metal and wear shit, throw shit out of balance and explode. That's why there's this plastic piece here. Yeah, so I can just reassemble this real quick. Let me clean the sides up a little better. Oh, it really didn't need that much cleaning. Okay. Whatever. So with this, I remember how this went. This just clicked in place like right there, like so. And then these fed from the back right here. No, this is the thinner one. So the thinner one goes here to the big one. So the bigger one goes right here. Just like that. Then you take your springs. The springs can be a little locked down. The springs, you kind of want to be careful doing this because if you pull on them and just rip on it, you can just unspring the spring. That's bad. That's very, very bad. Another thing with springs, look at their orientation, look at the ends of them. If they're not the same orientation, the rule of thumb is the unsquiggled one usually goes in the bolt, and the flat piece usually goes against it, like with SKS bolts. Unless it's like some sort of high machining gun, then I would really, really make sure that that is the correct spring in the right place. Alright, so there is your spring guide system. Alright, let's see about this one. Let's have a little time to cook. There we go. Finally. Yeah, these are 2 separate pieces of metal here. This little buddy should just pop out. There we go. This is your extractor claw. With extractor claws, you want to look at it head on and look from the back. And make sure it's not bent too, like I'm talking about the tip of the claw itself isn't bent inwards, or isn't missing, or isn't completely lowed out in the middle right here. Just want to inspect that real quick, and it just looks fine. Just got some buildup right here. Oh, yeah, just like that, and it's done just like that. The same people that say having gunk in your gun are the same people that say it's okay to never change the transmission fluid. Alright, that is the exact same type of people. You're like, oh, I gun don't work no more. The only thing I ever did was pour gasoline in it. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. You don't put gasoline in it. I know gasoline's acidic or whatever it does to eat away the chemicals, but like it's not good for it. It's not good for the wood, the finish. Yeah, sure, it'll eat it away, but it can also eat away these plastic pieces like this right here and ruin the gun. Or this plastic buffer right here that keeps your bolt from bouncing too far back. That's pretty bad. I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, just want to make sure that you take your time cleaning. This is going to take me like an hour or two to edit, but I don't care. If someone watching this finds this useful and taking this apart and cleaning it, or trying to understand this gun better, then so be it. Even if it's like 5, or even hell, just one person that doesn't want to tear at the gun, you can find a video like this online. Now, I mostly just talk about my videos, and I can understand that there's probably someone out there that's already done this a million times more than me, explain it better, but, you know. I've never taken a gun like this apart before. I had an idea of how it worked. I'm just using this based off memory. Here's one thing that a lot of people absolutely disagree with, especially when it comes to guns, using Dremels. Unless you're doing like woodwork or engraving or some really, really serious stuff, they absolutely despise Dremels. I, on the other hand, will say another time to use a Dremel appropriately when it's doing parts like this is cleaning. What do you mean with the rock? No, I'm talking about a wire wheel. Yeah, a lot of people don't like wire wheels. If it's really, really bad right here, if you can't really quite scrub it, a wire wheel will work wonders on this, especially on this face here. Don't use a rock. Don't use sandpaper. Just use a wire wheel brush and just clean it out right here. Don't hold it there for too long and make gouges, just a little bit just to clean that inside out. A lot of people get overzealous when it comes to like cleaning their guns sometimes. It doesn't need that much. It's okay if there's still like a little like sheen of dark and like the oil. As long as it works just fine. Looks clean, feels better than when you had it before. It's clean. You're never going to get all the dirt out of it. Unless you're part of like, you know, the military where you're literally just using brake clean the entire time. And yeah, by all means, go ahead, have fun with that. I'm good. I say don't go too crazy on it, yet I spout that you need to use a lot of oil. What's the difference? Well, the thing is, I'm not drowning it in it. I'm using a lot more than some people would, but I'm also not just drowning it in it and just wasting product. Intentionally, at least. Smart brush. Why you mint out of shape? Stupid brush now. Pretty easy. And just like that, the grime out of these pockets is gone. Actually, I do see some small stuff right here. Yeah, there's just some small stuff. Alright. Good. Right here on the bolt face, you really want to make sure you clean that. Especially on 22s. I cannot state this enough. On 22 bolt faces, you really want to clean the shit out of it. Just come here and just look at the front of that 22 bolt face. I ain't even touched that yet. You can see, you're like, I'll literally scrape it out for you just real quick. There. Yeah, look at all that just coming off the front of that bolt face. Good Lord. Not to mention the sides of it. But yeah. And that should be expected from 22s. Especially semi-automatic 22s. They should be just extremely dirty. Because 22 is very dirty round. Expect it coming from those type of guns. That is okay to expect. Alright, that looks good to me. Looks good to me. Let's see if you. That looks good to me as well. Okay. So I'm going to start assembling this back together. This might be a turkey to put together. Let's make sure that extractor coil is sitting just right. I got a 9mm casing on here real quick just to show that's but I thought I had a 9mm casing. I guess I was wrong. Just to be extra sure, but oh, it's already got a place to sit into. Okay. We're a good team, yay! It recesses right there. If you can get a 9mm case and just clip it in the side here and just move it up and down. If it moves a lot, like more than enough that you're comfortable with, then yeah, you should probably go ahead and move it back some. If it doesn't move like at all, then it's probably good. If it doesn't even fit, that means it's got to go up a little more. But in general, this thing's already got a recess part to it, and I can see how it levels out with the rest of where the casing would be at. So I know it's good, and it's flush on the front. I can tell right here, it's flush on the front, so it's good. Bump handle, really just gonna. That's done. Before I put it back in there, I'm just gonna move it up. Trigger piece, this firing pin holder, it's good. Firing pin itself, just gonna give it a little bit of wipe down. The back ends of it. And there she be. So reassembly, pretty straightforward. Just drop your firing pin. Well, before you drop your firing pin, you gotta grab this team. Okay. Okay, you gotta grab this thing. Okay. See, it doesn't want to fit. It'll fit this way. It doesn't want to fit this way. So you know that this is the correct position, which is nice because you can see how it's uneven here. I want to fit like so. This cannot go like so, but it can go like so. So it means the only logical way for it to fit in is like this. Now, while you're putting it together, this is something I miss myself sometimes, and you'll have to fix it later when you realize your mistake. When you're putting something like this together, put a couple drops on your firing pin itself, then around the sides here. This is a moving part. That is a moving sliding part. Just work her back and forth. That's a fixed firing pin. When that striker goes down, this drops down like so. It's the primer, goes back, yada yada. You know. Alright, so the bolt should be clean. It feels quite clean. This inside is clean. Before I go ahead and insert my bolts here, I'm just looking real quick, make sure I'm not missing nothing. I'm going to doubly, doubly shell. Apply this oil, no other crap in there. I'm gonna put a big old ring around the entire thing right here. Take my bolt and drop it forward. Just like so. Line it up to the face you're looking at with. That's not the right way. Back this up here. So I'm gonna put my in place. Pop a little oil on this little dude right here. It's probably a little much, but it's alright. Bound to happen. Bound to happen. Mistakes happen when you're cooking. A chef must taste his food. Or whatever the fuck, I don't know. What did I do wrong? I put it upside down. Put down this. Okay? You're gonna put shit in incorrectly all the time doing this. I can guarantee you're gonna do something wrong at least once taking guns apart. You're like, alright, it's gonna work just fine. Then you go to run it and you're like, why is the bolt not going all the way back? And then you spend the next 2 hours or even day looking at it being like, what the fuck did I do wrong? And then you find out you misput a pin in the wrong spot. It got 2 of the 3 holes it's supposed to penetrate through, but you just missed that 1 hole. So now that's why the bolt won't work correctly. That one entire thing, and the gun runs flawlessly now. Yeah, you're going to have to. I can automatically see how this is supposed to work. The biggest thing is trying to get all that to situate correctly. And I want to back this up here. That is definitely not in the right hole. Oh, it is in the right hole. And you got to compress it, at least for a little bit. That's a bit tricky, ain't it? Biggest thing is make sure that this iron bar to the left is going through that slot. It's going through that slot now. Oh, now you can just kind of just twist her into place. Bud, come on, man. Perfect. Oh, that's what happened. It came out of the slot. Like I told you, you gotta watch out for it. And looky there. Now I can actually make this work. You see, here's the bar. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide to the far left, poke it. She should just. One of the biggest things is to make sure they'll thread correctly. Thread at an angle. It's going to be a pain in the ass, so just give me a moment. You're going to have to fuck with it. You're going to have to finagle with it. This is probably the hardest part of this gun here, I assume. That's gone in. There you go. It's also flat as well, screwing in. Yep. Just like that. Oh yeah, that's a lot smoother. It's still tough as fuck, but it's a lot smoother now. Oh shit, that recoil spring acts like a guide on this to make it smooth too. I'll be. Right, so you want to oil the shit out of that too. Just like that. I'm looking at this trigger group real quick, and it doesn't need much cleaning. I'm just gonna take some swabs. Just clean this light stuff out on the top. Surprisingly not that dirty, which is really surprising to me. Yeah, someone, when they first cleaned this gun, whoever got it first, didn't clean all the grease for it, so it's just a little ick. Apply some here to this paddle here. So when you slide it in, it slides in nice. Put some on the ejector here. Some on the face here with fine pin sitting there. Just a nice light amount everywhere that I think would be necessary. I did say I was going to do something with the spray paint, but now that I've looked at it, I remember him telling me he doesn't mind it, so I'm not going to fuck with it. Why bother? And this thing, you'll want to make sure you go back in first. And you take your original pin here. It doesn't have a specific sliding pace, which is nice. Just like that. Just like that, it works. Actually, hey, that spring works a lot better now. It's nowhere near as heavy. Hey, that's nice. That's like maybe 10 pounds, which is still a lot, but that's a lot better now. I'm glad that I cleaned that. Cleaned the piss out of it. Let's connect it back in place. Alright, here comes the bitching part. Not so much putting this rear side back on. That rear side actually needs some cleaning. So give me a second. I'm going to clean these sides out real quick. Okay, I got this first one cleaned up pretty well. It's just going to screw right back onto here. I figured everybody would watch that. That'd be pretty boring. Just going to screw right on back to here. Now, when you want to put stuff on with a screw, you're going to want to hold the thing you want to screw in, if you can. Have your thing that's going to screw in, and then screw it in into the thing. It makes it the easiest way possible. You both line it up and hold it in place steadily. Now, they're not going to be perfect, because yet again, this gun is not meant for anything actually serious. So, nothing serious with the sides. Bye-bye. Not any much. That feels really nice now, actually. I've said this before. People shit on 80s guns a lot because of their build quality for the most part. For most guns made in the 80s, which is pretty fair. This is the boomers coming out of the 70s building shit. The boomers that, come out of Woodstock and shit, doing all kinds of crazy ass drugs. I'm kind of with the Joe Rogan thing where, in the 60s when they banned all the psychedelics and shit, made it really hard to get. Just made everything shitty. Kind of with it, kind of not. I mean, I understand it. Where he's trying to get at. Alright. And that's good. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. We're on here. I feel as if I wish it had like a point where it could just like hold on to this, but this is not hold on to nothing. It's literally you screw this onto place and say good enough. I'm not even shitting you. That is how this sight is done. It's it's good enough type of sight. Which I find a bit appalling. That should be about where good is. Yeah, that looks about good to me. Yet again, we're not going perfection for this. So, this is a complete disassembly and cleaning of an AP9. I didn't do nothing with the trigger, so it's not a complete disassembly, but it's just a cleaning and taking apart of an AP9. That is so much smoother, which was the whole goal of this, is to get this smoother and take all the crap out of it. Actually feels half decent, man. Anyways, y'all, I hope y'all enjoy the video. And I'll see y'all some other time. Hey, yo, man, give me your money, baby. Give me your money.